Good morning. First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to DJ Quicksilver, DMV representative. I've followed his career from as long as I've been on my career path. I'm talking about back in the early 2000s. So just to put that out there real quick, this is something that he posted on Instagram.
Put some money into yourself. Y'all letting this out of town dude outwork y'all and outshine y'all. And the dude done put rap trucks in the street. Nobody was doing that. Is that my fault that I had the brains to market and promote myself? Or you gonna say he gatekeep it because he got billboards?
But
He gatekeep it because he got.
my question is
myself.
how do you get away with that when I've seen big time DJs get hired at local radio stations here. I know you still working, so I'm not gonna say no names because I know you got business. But I see local DJs that was really good, big brand, and it's like they almost try to.
I'm going to speak for DJ Mark X on this one. What the gentleman just said, it's true. They don't. Local radio stations don't want you to be bigger than the program. Now, the reason why I am talking about this is because Mark and I always had a plan, and the plan was to solidify us in El Paso and that the whole world would know that El Paso existed and that we were the ones that did it. We were able to change the trajectory of the music, everything. Back then, Power 102 did not, and I repeat, did not like hip hop, was frowned upon like if it was just black music, not realizing that the city of El Paso, as far as music was concerned, was very progressive in hip hop at the time. But who was going to be there to stand up for it? Nobody at the station stood up for it, but Mark and I did. And if we could tell you all the trials that we went through where Mark had to play the same 10 records on a list, and if he deviated from that list, he would get fired. Not realizing Mark was one of the top DJs in the country. I sat there with the legendary DJ Prince Ice in Miami with DJ Mark X, and we were at the bar at Fountain Blue, and we were drinking free gin. He said something that stayed with me through my whole career, and I love Prince Ice for this. He said, work. How did he say it? He said, make the radio station work for you. You do not work for the radio station. What that means is you take the tools and you take everything that you learn, the political side, everything, you take that from radio and you apply it to your brand. Radio stations were always back then against a local person creating a brand because the local station will give the big name DJ everything. Let them go commit murder on the radio. But when one of us did it, it was a problem. When we had our names like on billboards and stuff like that, it was because of promoters outside of radio that was boosting our names up, not the radio station. The radio station said we needed to play by their program, and that was it. I had to convince one of our program directors, just pay attention to what we're doing. We are making a mark. That particular program director was from Houston, so he kind of got it. I invited him to a club that Mark and I DJ'd at the time called Valari. We were doing 1,300 people on a Saturday night every week consistently. While dance clubs like Club 101 and all these other clubs, they were doing good numbers, but they weren't doing the numbers we were doing, and it was all 100% hip hop. Took him there, and then he was like, what the fuck? He bugged out, lost his goddamn mind because he didn't know El Paso, as far as hip hop was concerned, was one of the top cities in Texas. Every single label in Texas, from DSR, from George Lopez in Dallas, all the way down south to Swisher House, Screwed Up Click, everybody we introduced on the radio in El Paso. We started getting more love in Dallas and Houston and San Antonio than we did in our own damn market because we never really got the push that we think we deserve because we came in with this. We didn't develop on the radio. We were already in the streets. We just brought the streets to radio.
Strip that away from you. It's like, I don't want you to have a brand outside of the radio. That's what it seems like.
And for those people who think that we're in radio, once again, it's them being intimidated. I remember when I first started like touring and like going to other cities and getting parties and stuff like that. And then I wanted to go back on radio when I finished touring. And I remember Funk Flex saying, "You gotta be careful, man. You turning into an animal." I said, "What you saying, OG? Huh?" He said, "Your brand is getting bigger than the program." And a lot of them people in them radio stations, they get intimidated once people feel like you're doing a lot without them. And I remember hearing that and never forgetting that. Like, I'm never going to allow a company or entity or anything I'm a part of dictate my success.
And when I say church to that, that is absolutely true. You became part of the program and then you became bigger than the program because you had a bigger ambition. My ambition was to hold Texas down, the whole state. I wanted to be that guy to hold the state down without a radio station. When I was let go from Power 102, they just thought they just flicked off another nigga. The radio station does not care because I was number one. Number one, not number two, not tied. I was number one in my demographic, 18 to 34, and 34 to 54 was number one. Nobody could rock with me. The only person that could rock with me was Johnny Cage, and that was 12 plus. When I got to 104, the situation was a lot better as far as me being able to be me without changing. And then over the years, uh, trends start changing. Okay, I'm a 100% hip hop head, but I was a hip hop head that could play house and all that stuff. But I wasn't part of a fraternity or a clique or any of that stuff. I still stood alone on what my business was. So I was always still out of town. I was still doing stuff in LA. I was still doing stuff in Vegas. I was still doing stuff in Dallas, Houston. I was always in the DMV. I was I was moving Miami. I was moving. It became bigger to me for me to promote myself than it was to promote a radio station that didn't have 100% under you. Now, by no means am I dissing the two radio stations that I work for. No, not at all. What I'm saying is that when you become too big or bigger than the program, they try to scale you back. This is why it's important that you guys support GBR Global because it is 100% independent. It's ran by 6 people, and it doesn't have the same laws like the FCC laws. We don't have to follow because of the fact that we're out of the country. Second of all, just by downloading the app, it helps us on our independent journey. Okay? So we're not asking anybody for any money. We are asking for support. And as long as we get the support, we can get it. This goes for us and another one in our conglomerate called Boombox Radio, bbxradio.com. Make sure you support, download the apps, do whatever. It makes it look good to advertisers. And we can get our own advertising dollars with your support. And we don't have to deal with the politics that we have to deal with commercial radio stations. The GBR Global.